Hello everyone, welcome back to another FanHome Star Trek Starships collection review. This time before me, I have the USS Stargazer NCC-82893 as seen on Star Trek Picard Season 2, the beginning and the end of it. And I believe the class of ship was also seen somewhat in Star Trek Picard Season 3. So as you can see, there is a box, nice looking box, with a picture of the model on the front, and the usual markings are on the sides of the box with FanHome logo and copyright information. It's all there as usual. And it comes with a magazine, which I have here. So I'm going to dive right into this and swipe the box aside for just a moment, so bear with me. All right, and here is the magazine, USS Stargazer NCC-82893. Got the FanHome Star Trek Starships collection logo, which coincidentally, as I mentioned before, I think this is the new Star Trek logo branding, I guess, that appears on modern Star Trek products. So you got a nice, or rather different view of the ship here than the scene on the box, and you open it up, and just like with the old Eagle Moss magazines, the format of the magazine more or less remains the same. You got your copyright here, your stand assembly, which is pretty basic, and some brief information here on the right. It is Sagan class, 540.7 meters long, Captain Cristobal Rios, weaponry, phasers, photon torpedoes, defenses, deflectors, multi-phasic shields. And we turn the page, and we have a nice CG rendering of the ship there, as well as lots of text about the ship as it appeared in the opening and closing moments of Star Trek Picard Season 2. And here is the plan layout, just showing you basically other views of the ship, no annotations or any notations or things like that. And then here is the designing of the ship and the model, which was pretty interesting to read. One of the things that I remember or recall from this article is it talks about how they wanted to pay homage to the original Stargazer seen on The Next Generation in Season 1, The Battle. The whole thing with the 4 nacelles, and yeah, I really liked reading about that. And although the one thing that they didn't explain is why the registry is 82893 instead of just simply 2893A or B or whatever it is. So yeah, this was an interesting but yet good read. And some more imagery and text there and conceptual artwork. And one of the things that I wanted to point out, because this is what I just remembered, sorry, is that the original design that they went with for this new Stargazer originally had the Sovereign class nacelles. Now, personally, I think that would have been much better. I mean, I'm kind of cool or okay with the more boxy looking nacelles that they came up with for like the Titan A and this and the Stargazer, which they have the same exact pair of nacelles, or in this case 4, but I think it would have been much more of a lineage kind of thing if they went with the Sovereign class nacelles. Yeah, it just looks so much better. Maybe along the line we'll get a concept art model or a concept model, who knows. But yeah, I just think that would have looked so much better and way more in the lineage of ships that we saw in the Berman era. And then there's one last section about that, about the design process. And of course, here's the talk on the nacelles. And that pretty much wraps up the magazine. Oh no, I'm sorry, there's more pages. Whoops. Oh man, it just looks better, I think. I wish they had gone with that. And then, yeah, the magazine pretty much ends without fanfare. There's no on-screen appearance page. I guess I kind of missed that, but otherwise it's a pretty solid magazine. So now I'm going to open the box nearby and dive right into the model itself. All right, folks, and there we have it. Here's the model itself, and I must say it looks pretty darn good. Wow. Of course, as usual with FanHome, this thing took about 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks to get here, which I know I don't remember or recall it being this long for Eaglemoss, especially from when they, sent the email saying that it was being shipped out or sent out. But anyway, this looks awesome. As you can see, the registry is nice and crisp there. USS Stargazer NCC-82893. You got your phaser arrays there. Looks like there might be a little slight paint blunder on the strip there. The weathering looks nice. I know there were some concerns or questions about that, but it looks nice. The nacelles look good. They are plastic and they have the translucent blue plastic in there so you can see, and the Bussard collectors are also, they're red of course, and they are plastic that you can kind of hold up to the light, and that looks cool. I always like when they do that. The aft view looks pretty solid. The impulse engines are painted. Got a little piece of styrofoam still stuck in there from the box. Oh well, I'll get it out later. The registry there looks nice and crisp. No paint blunders. USS Stargazer, you got the registry here on the nacelle pylon. And everything looks awesome. Pretty solid. The bulk of the model is metal, particularly the saucer section. This underside a bit is plastic, so pretty much the entire sort of saucer itself is metal, but this is all plastic. This is all plastic. And this is metal, of course, and this is plastic. And then the nacelles are plastic. It fits in your hand like that, so it's still pretty big, in contrast to the Eaglemoss models in the standard collection at the time, which were smaller size. These were more on the medium range, which are definitely nice, I have to admit. The underside, much to my surprise, and along with the model, or as the vessel was seen in the show, there's no registry on the underside. I miss when the ships actually had the registry on the underside. I think the Titan A has it, but otherwise it would have been nice to have it kind of stamped here as well. There is, however, it does say Stargazer there, so at least that's there, and the registry is also on the nacelle pylon on the underside. And the one thing, or another thing that I noticed that seems to be missing, is there's a lack of a Starfleet stripe, or the pendant that we used to see along the sides. Remember those days? Or along the hull. There's no symbol that identifies that. I mean, yes, of course, the registry, the shape, the look, the feel, all of that says Starfleet Federation, sure. However, the strip, that Starfleet pendant, the stripe, is missing, and it would have been nice to kind of have that on the model represented somewhere. But on the underside, everything looks good. I have no paint blemishes on my model. The phasers look nice. The RCS thrusters look nice. The escape pods all look nice. And overall, it looks pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with this thing. I did notice, however, that the nacelles, at least the top nacelles, are shorter than the bottom ones. And it's not an alignment issue or a misalignment issue. It's just simply the look of the ship. The top ones, you can see, are clearly shorter than the bottom ones. And also, I do want to point out that the registry is stamped there on the tips of the nacelles. And be very careful, because this is a delicate part which could break off. And I also want to point out, because I'm just now noticing it, that these have the nacelles, the end of the nacelles have the blue plastic in there as well. That's you can hold up to the light and look at, which is nice. Pretty nice in the detail on that. So yeah, overall, this is a pretty nice, solid model. The design is nice. Even though we only saw the ship in the beginning of the season of Star Trek Picard Season 2, the rest of it was garbage, followed by the last, episode and a half, where the ship appeared at the end of the season. But yes, this was pretty solid. And then, of course, in the show, its captain stayed in the past, in 20th century Earth, because he fell in love with a girl. I guess that happens. So, and of course, the model comes with a stand, and unlike the Eagle Moss ones, it does not specify which stand it belongs to. It's a bit of a bummer, because if you are moving and you have these things on display, and by some odd chance you get them mixed up, it's going to be a bit of a hassle to try to track them down, which stand belongs to what. So, and it also attaches to your model like this. So the plastic goes square in the middle there and sits like that. I feel like it could be a little bit more sturdy, and it wants to lean because the bulk of the metal, of course, is in the saucer section like I mentioned earlier. And I have these placemats here, so maybe that's also part of it. But yeah, guys, this is a pretty awesome model. Highly recommended. It will set you back about approximately $60, more or less. I don't know how the tariffs that the president is applying will affect things, but we'll see what happens with that. So it's definitely worth getting. You can find it on FanHome's website. I think the subscribers like myself will be getting these first, and then it will be available on other markets after the fact. And if you have any questions, of course, always please shoot me a line down below, and I'll do my best to answer, get back to you, reply to your criticisms and all of that. But yeah, guys, I would highly recommend this one. I was actually kind of looking forward to it a little bit more than the Titan A, although I liked the Titan A and I wanted that one a lot. I was really looking forward to this one, and I'm glad I've got it. You just be mindful that the shipping or the wait times to receive the model from the time you are billed to the time it arrives at your doorstep, it's about 2.5 to 3 weeks. So just be mindful and keep that, keep that on hand when you're subscribing to the collection. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this one. And until next time, guys, live long and prosper. Please be safe. It's a crazy, mad world out there right now. Please take care of yourselves, your friends, your families, your co-workers, each other. And I'll catch you guys next time. All right, bye-bye.